Frightened shoppers forced to take cover as police open fire in northeast Albuquerque. Good evening, everyone. I'm Crystal Gutierrez. Albuquerque Police Chief Alan Banks is trying to unravel the city's latest officer-involved shooting. This time, he says more than one officer pulled the trigger. Tonight, a section of Wyoming is still blocked off. That's where we find News 13's Cole Miller. He starts our coverage near Indian School and Wyoming. Cole?
Crystal, this is where Chief Banks says police opened fire on that man along Wyoming just north of Indian School, a scene still active nearly 8 hours after this all happened.
Wyoming Street looked something like a war zone this afternoon. Police cars lined the road as detectives searched for answers in the latest officer-involved shooting here in Albuquerque. Chief Alan Banks says it all started with a call to 911 just after 2 p.m. A woman saying she was worried about the man she was with, asking police to come arrest him.
She asked for officers to respond and wanted the male subject to go to jail.
Police were able to spot the man near Wyoming and Northeastern, near a large shopping center. And that's when Chief Banks says gunfire broke out.
There was a confrontation between the officers and this male subject. The officers did discharge their firearms.
Chief Banks says multiple officers opened fire, and he couldn't say whether that man had any kind of weapon. He says officers did call out before pulling the trigger.
They did render aid. The male was struck with bullets. They did render aid. He was transported to the hospital in critical condition.
This isn't the first time this guy had a run-in with the law.
He is a convicted felon, and we know that he has at least 12 felony warrants for his arrest.
Chief Banks says why officers opened fire is still under investigation, and the question his force is trying to answer.
We still have witnesses and the officers that have to be interviewed, and we want to get their statements first before I release any of that pertinent information.
Now, Wyoming remains closed tonight between Indian School and Manal. Police have released little details other than the fact that he did have those 12 outstanding felony arrest warrants. And Crystal, Chief Banks says he does expect to release some more information here in the coming days. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Cole. Now, Chief Banks says they're working on getting surveillance video from nearby businesses. Today's officer-involved shooting happened near a busy strip mall. Shoppers are forced to make a mad dash back into stores, trying to run for cover. One store employee says she knew something was wrong when she had customers tell her they were up close and personal to the action.
Two of my customers were really close to him, probably less than 4 feet away, when he got shot. The cops were running after him. He didn't stop. Supposedly he put his hand in his jacket, so they shot him 7 times.
Witnesses say police told the man to stop several times as they were running before officers opened fire. Now, this story is still developing. For the very latest on APD's most recent officer-involved shooting, stay with KRQE News 13 on air and online at krqe.com. Our coverage continues tomorrow morning at 4:30.